Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Jordy and this is a late night reading for Pisces. You may have noticed on my channel that I've started posting for other zodiac signs, which I will be doing regularly. But Pisces, you're going to get bonus videos because you are my OG family here on YouTube. So you'll see there'll be more readings for you than the other signs. Because you're my collective that I have here already. So then it's interesting, we're working with the angels tonight, angelic energy, and I pulled three messages. There's three separate messages that all kind of blend together, and we start with the Indigo and Crystal Children card. This card says, Archangel Metatron, you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. So you may have children, you may be feeling connected to children, but I think this message runs a bit deeper than that. You know, the concept of indigo and crystal children is a spiritual concept that came out of the last 30 to 50 years of souls that have come into the last few decades. I would say the last 50 to 70 years, where these souls are here to hold the frequency, hold the grid down during these changing times of technology and war and innovation and expansion globally. We are here, and if you are here, you are definitely one of these indigo or crystal children. The first wave of these spiritual warriors are the indigo souls, which are actually perceived to have an indigo colored aura. And these spiritual souls, it's a family of souls. Indigo children have been coming through for centuries in small numbers, but they came through in a big batch, apparently, in the 50s moving forward. And these children are now adults. Some of them are retired, some of them have passed on. There's maybe a few stragglers that have come through who are younger, in their 30s maybe, but this is an older age group, the indigo children. And then the crystal children are younger. They may be in their 40s, 30s, 20s. And then there's even newer batches of souls that have, maybe have come through since this deck was printed. But the indigo children are interesting. They are the warrior class of spiritual souls, and they often have had very traumatizing and challenging upbringings. And they are the cycle breakers, and not all indigo children have survived their cycle breaking. These indigo children, you may be one of them, have experienced massive damage to your hope, to your experience here on Earth. You have buffered a horrific transition of energy being this soul. And clarifying this card is metamorphosis. So there may have been some very powerful relationships in your life that have anchored you into this experience, that have given you hope during difficult times. But some of these indigo souls have been kind of stuck on their own. And what this card is saying to you is that you have undergone some of the most difficult spiritual energy that is out there, and having had spiritual gifts and spiritual awareness throughout that. You didn't go through these processes blind. In fact, your third eye was ripped open and perhaps closed down multiple times in your lifetime. This metamorphosis is ongoing continually, and we have this One Ring Circus card coming through here as well, describing this energy. You may feel like some of your life, or maybe your entire life, has been a circus. you know, having to entertain all of these difficult experiences and spiritually challenging situations, having to uh, put on your best smile, grin and bear it, find humor, dark humor in um, challenging times. You may have developed very high level skill in certain areas of research or education or just life experience. And you know, you're a dying breed. You know, your soul group has been pretty much already been manifested in this world. So you are the ones that are meant to um, basically penetrate the frequency on this planet, and it sets the stage for the crystal children. Pisces, you know, you can't really be a Pisces without being one of these two types of souls. And the crystal children are in a younger group. I'm a crystal child. I know that intuitively. We also go through our challenges. However, we are a much more clear channel from an earlier age than the indigos. The indigos have ripe and potent um, intuitive and intellectual and strength faculties, but crystal children are more sensitive, more calm, more peaceful, and more serene. And unfortunately, what's the issue with the crystal children is indigo children figure out early on how to take care of themselves and protect themselves. But crystal children get taken advantage of quite easily. They are more trusting, and they probably are born to indigo parents or born to families where there's stability in their childhood, but there's also quite a bit of an awakening in the family and in the community that you're born with. You may have been born um, having different mental health or even sexual orientation spectrums. Like crystal children are the whole variety, the whole rainbow, you know? They have a lot of uniqueness to them that needs to be like cultivated. And we're going to go deeper into this message by pulling some tarot cards from the Change Tarot here. I just want to see, like, with this whole theme of indigo and crystal children and the massive metamorphosis of spiritual energy that both generations have to process. Basically, the crystal children are kind of mocked or put into this, you know, unobtainable category of not being able to obtain certain levels of stability without having to have like a fame or breakthrough moment. It's almost like this, like the society has perfectly timed the expensive economy and the lack of resources available to the generation of the crystal souls, because they have so much to offer, and they're being, you know, most of the wealth is in the older generations right now. So let's see what kind of messages we can get from the Change Tarot. We have the Page of Cups. You know, what isn't lacking from indigo and crystal children, you know, especially Pisces watching this video, is that you have unique personalities, that you're friendly, you know, to people who respect your authenticity, and you have enormous healing potential. You've seen a lot of healing in your life, healing that wasn't possible for other people, and you've also helped heal others. You know, people find their purpose, people find their themselves, is what I'm hearing, in your life, in your presence, and in your teachings. So we have the Two of Cups reversed. Partnerships may come and go right now. Wherever you're at in your crystal or indigo child experience, partnerships right now in the present moment may be going through some upheaval or metamorphosis right now. I'm seeing relationships developing. I feel like this Two of Cups is saying that some of your soul contracts are shifting. Um, it has to do with the fact that you may be planning on having children in your life. You may be planning on having like a closer connection to your own inner child. That part of you that was younger, that was, you know, more hopeful, more creative. You may want to tap into that inner child that was injured or scared or suppressed, and you may want to get to know that inner child even more at this time. And you have to work on this connection, Pisces, because as you work on this connection with your inner child, your inner indigo or crystal spirit, there's going to be massive healing, okay? So that's what I've got for the first message. Whoa, Pisces, we went there. With your second message, we have peace, and this blends in to the next message. This is Archangel Chamuel. It says, peace comes from remembering that only love is real. Clarifying that is come together, love card. And we have into the unknown. That lady's wearing a mask. And we have gentle gardener. So I do feel like as you work on your relationship with your inner child, that one that had a little bit of a different experience than perhaps other children, because of your spiritual awareness, because of your spiritual purpose and blueprint of your soul, you know, as you work on that authenticity and connection to yourself, tapping into those fears that you've had when you were younger, tapping into those talents that you had, there is peace coming from that because you're lining up with your soul's path and you're lining up with a soulmate. There is love on this path. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how many duds there's been or heartbreaks, or if you've had the love of your life and nothing ever could match that. There is more love on the menu for you here because of the peace that is coming in to this harmony of you coming into your more authentic self. So, you know, it's saying if you already have that love, garden it, tend to it, be gentle in your gardening of this love. You may not know what a particular relationship status is, but it's saying you're going into this unknown. We're going to clarify that with some cards here. We have the Hierophant reversed. Sometimes the Hierophant reversed talks about not fitting in. The Ten of Wands reversed. And the Six of Wands. I do get this as a relationship message. So you're heading into unknown territory with a relationship because of the peace that is coming forth from you from having lined up with your inner child more and given it the attention it deserves. So with the Hierophant, it's saying you need to rebel against what is the status quo or the regular linear structure of someone's life path. Don't take on jobs. Don't take on relationships. Don't take on work within a relationship that is going to take away from your peace. We have to have a certain level of tolerance and respect and patience for people and situations in our life. But if you've acquired peace, because you've been more authentic and you've tapped into that inner child. They're saying that there could be a relationship dynamic here that doesn't fit in the regular mold, has a lot of challenges, and it's not saying don't be in this relationship or don't move forward in this relationship. It's actually showing success moving forward, but it is saying don't take on all the work in the relationship. Don't do the other person's work either. It's called keep that peace, because that's going to give you the peace you need. It's going to sustain the peace you already have, and you can gently guard and you can gently tend to this relationship. You don't have to take on the whole burden of their healing. Even, they may not be the same type of soul as you. We're not comparing souls here, but they might not have the same spiritual foundation or experience or even sensitivity that you have. They may even have more, So there's something here about like, don't take on all of their work. But you can still move forward because you're going into the unknown with this relationship, and it's an unconventional relationship, and it seems to be moving forward successfully as you have boundaries with how much effort you put in. And no, don't put in max effort, put in gentle, consistent, patient effort, So the Queen of Swords here as well, like having boundaries. I just pulled an extra card for that. Like, just have some healthier boundaries there. The third message that we're talking about today from the angels is sensitivity. Archangel Haniel, you are an extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. Now, I do know from a few astrologers that I connect to, like the Witty Kitty Intuitive I just found one of her videos again on YouTube, and also Sandy Uncaged has talked about this on my Facebook. There's like a trine, a water sign trine happening with the planets and water signs right now. That is creating a lot of emotional power and sensitivity, and this card is definitely in alignment with that. So emotions and energies are amplified right now, so you have to honor your feelings, honor your emotions. The cards that came out to clarify that are Stuck in the Mud and Heal the Ouch. So there's an energy here of your progress may feel halted or slowed right down for the next week or two. And this is an opportunity for you to discover where you are most wounded and to heal. This is giving you information, is what I'm hearing. Information on what is your Achilles heel. Your Achilles heel might be your love life. And it might be crucial time for you to connect emotionally with someone. You have the King of Pentacles reversed here. They might be giving you a hard time connecting to them emotionally. Maybe they're going through financial difficulties. Maybe they're just stubborn. The trick to connecting to them emotionally is to get them into a state of activity. So do things with this individual. Don't avoid them because you're feeling overly emotional or sensitive. Channel that emotional sensitivity into passionate activity. If you're having trouble finding passion within activities with this individual, look into what brings you passion. Do a little bit of it on your own, and then have that experience. You have things to talk about from that experience. You have some inspiration from that, then bring the energy into your interaction with your individual. This is a crucial time to connect to your loved one, is what I'm hearing. Okay, that's what I've got for your reading. All right, my little crystal indigo babies, Pisces. Love you all, and I'll see you again soon.